Yes, indeed, I sneezed as I paused the recording. I sneezed because I think there's some perfume in the tissue I just used. Can't win. Oh, let's move on. I was talking about the leadership and how we've had good leadership. Not perfect, but how can it be perfect when the situation is changing so fast? I know there's some out there who want to suggest that what this is fake news in the sense that saying it's not as serious as it seems or it's being reported to be. It's just a seasonal flu. But the experts are really clear on this. You know, our medical professionals are saying this one is more serious. It's easy to catch. The virus behaves differently and is more life-threatening to anybody with any kind of underlying issues. They also say that it's easier to wash off. So, yeah, again, say the mantra, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, and do the social distancing. I like the idea that they talk about social distancing because we don't need to isolate. In a sense, we can still connect with one another. Each of us must make wise decisions for our personal well-being. Stay out of crowds and wash your hands, and whenever you leave your home, and when you come back, isolate if you have any symptoms. So don't see or touch, go out at all if you don't have any symptoms. If you have symptoms. If you are isolating because of that, contact the church, email or phone. We'll be checking messages all the time. Or talk to the person that might be calling you, because everyone in the congregation should be on a congregational list and be contacted. We have some people willing to do some shopping for people and that sort of thing. If you need that kind of help, just let us know. If you're in a situation where you're very immune compromised in any way and you need to stay out altogether, connect with us. We'll see if we can arrange to have someone pick up groceries. We'll get you talking to them and vice versa. See if we can't make that happen. I appreciate when I hear about how you're doing. So if you're on email, send me a note saying you're doing okay, or you're not well and you're isolating, or whatever's happening. Because let's stay in touch. Let's reach out with compassion to one another. Phone your family and friends. Phone people you haven't heard from or you're wondering how they're doing. Now with this time is a time to actually connect with old friends you may have not have heard from in a while. I've been thinking about a friend on Main Island that I plan on calling because I haven't spoken to him for many months. So this can lead us to remembering how important it is to reach out with compassion and love for one another, care for each other. Communicating at this time of crisis will help us all stay together. There's one more thing. Let's address the big question. I just have a paragraph or so to go on this one, and then I might do this as a separate thing to talk about. The big question is the one in the first point where they asked Jesus who sinned, the man or the parents, that this man was born blind, and Jesus throws it out. This isn't about a vengeful God. God doesn't punish children, infants, a baby infant, for something the father did because he broke the Sabbath law or ate the wrong food or any other sin you want to try to name at the time. The child's not punished by God for this. And yet, it was such a comforting theology if nothing's wrong going on for you. In fact, it's reflected a little bit of the reporter's question last week when they asked the Prime Minister, has the government considered going through the UN to tell the Chinese government to shut down all these markets that are selling wild meat? The Prime Minister appropriately said, now is not the time to try to do that sort of thing. Now's the time to deal with today, what's happening in the crisis today. But that blame game, right, wanting to have a reason, is what underlies the theology of a vengeful God that will punish you or punish people for the things they've done or not done. We want the answers, someone to blame. Sometimes we want to blame God. Why would God let this happen? It's the big question that human beings are being asked for all recorded history. Why? In fact, sometimes the answer has been maybe if we sacrifice to God, then God will not not let the bad things happen. Maybe if we slaughter a few young lambs in the spring, then we'll get the spring rains and the harvest will be great. Maybe if we do this, even to the point in some ancient days, maybe if we sacrifice our firstborn child, God will bless us with more children and great harvests and wealth and prosperity. It's a painful theology or understanding that is run through history one way or the other. You even see it on Facebook memes where they say, if you do this, you'll be super blessed. But if you don't do this, if you don't repost this meme, you will be you'll have a terrible time. So this time I'm going to stop and blow my nose, but you can witness the whole thing. Just pretend there's a commercial right now. There we go. Sorry. Should have checked out the tissue before I started. It's all good. It's all good. The underlying belief with this question of why is that God intervenes at the level of microbiology on an ongoing basis. The virus and bacteria are an important part of God's creation and help to keep us alive. You have a whole pile of bacteria and virus in your body that is part of your survival, part of what makes your body work. Our problem is that we see humans separated from creation, as if we're somehow above and outside of it, and we shouldn't have to have the impacts of the whole system of creation that God has set up. It's not very comforting to accept that accept our place as only one single organism within creation, but that is the reality. The reality is that God is the God of human beings, and God is the God of viruses and bacteria. That they too are part of God's creation. The virus is doing exactly what it was created to do: evolve, find a host, replicate, move on. Such a view seems cold and callous, yet what a wonder of creation it is. What a marvel it is, both microbiology, viruses, and bacteria, and what a marvel that our bodies know what to do. That for most cases, our bodies can cope with it, manage, move on. What a wonder that with all our knowledge and skills of the medical world, modern medical science, we can fight back and we can win. God gave us what we needed: our minds, strength, our bodies, a wisdom from friends and family and experts and leadership, so that we can take care of ourselves. And here we are at this time. And what do we do in response to all of this? This is a time to reach out to others in compassion and hope. This is a time to trust in the beauty of creation and the unfolding of the whole system. This virus isn't destroying the norms and upsetting everything that ever happened. It's really not. It's just part of the whole system. If we have a longer view of history, we will know all the different times that viruses have come into our system, challenged us, challenged human beings. And yes, life has been lost. That is the scary part. Scary for us as individuals, scary for us as a church, as a community, as a nation. Life will be lost. But there's something remarkable in teachings of Julia Norwich during a time when the plague was going through England. She'd lost her husband and child, and she became a mystic. And in her viewings, they call them, in her seeing sights, she speaks a prayer of confidence, saying, all will be well. All manner of things will be well. This is our challenge as people of faith at this point, is to hold on to our trust in God, to hold on to our faith as we move through a time of crisis. It's not easy. No way of saying this is easy. Our world's being really shaken up here. But we need to lean into God, trust God, and know that all will be well as we care and love for one another. God is with us. We are not alone. Thanks for listening.